All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2 of Rebirth. I was in the middle of a story and I did not want to forget to record. And you know what? I don't know what the story was anymore. So if someone wants to remind me in the chat, great. And if not, I think we're just going to get started. Yeah, basically, oh, the best message through songs, music. Yes, yes, yes. So I am I am a sacred musician. I am given songs from spirit, chants that drop in that help us to awaken remembrances within our bodies. I do hold 30-minute free monthly sessions called Drum and Fire. You can find those on my website if you'd like to join, where we gather to awaken the primal voice of the feminine, because chanting is such an ancient art. So all of that was just a little tidbit to say, yes, our higher selves do speak to us through song, and how dope is that? So, without further ado, let's get started. For those of you who are joining new today, oh, Jerry, I love myself. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, that chant we did during our last session. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danny Frederick. I am a divine feminine mystic, and I am here helping women come into the fullness of their beauty, of their grace, of their power, so that we can all live and lead more wildly fulfilling lives. And I do this through events like this, concerts, music, e-courses, programs, all the goods, so that we can rise together. And today is going to be all about taking care of our sacred vessel, ensuring that we are clean and pristine so that we can hear our guidance, so that we can feel ourselves and make space for our remembrance. So let's first just begin by taking 3 deep breaths to really land in the space. So go ahead, breathing in the nose and sighing out, allowing any sound to escape as needed. Breathing in again and out. And last time. Welcome, sisters. Welcome, sisters. Welcome, sisters. So we are going to kick off each and every temple session that we do with our sacred heart coherence. So if you are not on video and you can come on video for the next 90 seconds to 2 minutes, that would really be helpful to help us weave our energy. So what you want to do is move up to how did that feel? I see tears, I see giggles. It's so fun. Isn't it magnificent? The potency. That is the power of our collective. Congratulations, sister. Yay, us. Love this for us. Love us feeling on ourselves and our power. Love us being in our beauty and our grace. Love us being the divine vessels that we are. And so we seal that divine goodness by saying, sisters, I see you. Sisters, I honor you. Sisters, I welcome you to our divine temple space today. Blessed be. Okay. So today we are talking all about how do we care for our energetic vessel, our body, and our being. Well, we already know one way. We know how to take care of our physical body, right? We shower, we cleanse, we, take care of our nails, we wash our hair, we wash our face. That is energetic hygiene for the physical body, and that's fabulous. Here's the thing, though. We have 3 other bodies we need to care for. What are those 3 other bodies? That is our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body. So our emotional body, this holds our emotion. This is why moving emotion is so important. Some of you, as we go through this 10-day journey, or perhaps you've already awakened this within you, you are a priestess who cries the tears of the world through you. You are the one connected to the divine Earth Mother who allows her tears to liberate through your holy vessel. Sometimes we just cry because we have our own energy to move and transmute and liberate. Taking care of our emotional body could also look like screaming, could look like making weird sounds. But we have an emotional body, and emotion stands for energy in motion. But unfortunately, what we've been taught is to stop the motion of our energy. From the time we're itty bitty babies, right? We fall down. Mom, in her beautiful intention and love, comes to console us because we're crying, and it's, oh, the emotion stops. Or you get your lump in your throat because you're around people who maybe you don't feel like you can be fully yourself, and they might poke fun at you if you start crying, or something felt hurtful on the playground, and you had this emotion, this wave that wanted to come up, but we stop it. So emotion is like this wave. When you see an ocean wave that wants to come up, out, dissipate, and exit your field. But oftentimes on the rise of the wave, we go, oh no, cap it. I got to be in the meeting. Oh gosh, I got to present. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to take care of others. There's too much. I got to go to the grocery store. And then it freezes in our field. So there are ways we can work with that. And some of the things that we're going to go over today will help relax that. But that is a whole other teaching in and of itself. But just to be aware, bringing that all to our awareness front and center of full permission and full honor in releasing emotion, creating that sacred space to cry, to emote, to yell, to scream, to shake. You know, when an antelope or a zebra escapes a lion, they shake it off. They have to shake that trauma out immediately. They're like, I'm not living with this, because if I do, I'm not going to be as fast running away from the next lion that's going to try to get me next week. I got to keep myself clear. Okay. So that's another way to look at it. So that's our emotional body. Then we have our mental body. Oh, our precious mental body. Our precious mental body that we put under so much stress because we're taught to only rely on our mental intelligence and none of the numerable other intelligences of our body to navigate life. And so our mental body is influenced, as well as our emotional body, is influenced by the things that we watch, that we read, that we hear. This is why the music that you listen to is so important. This is why I highly recommend clicking the links in the daily overview email to get access to very high frequency music that you can listen to and jam out to in the car or when you're making sacred space in your home. Our mental body, its conditioning, its belief systems, all of the things that we've picked up along the journey, and all of the beliefs that we've formed in the moment to keep ourselves safe. So that's our mental body. And then we have our energetic/spiritual body. This is our connection to our guides, our intuition. This is our meridian system, our chakra system. So there's all these level layers. And look, we're human. We don't have 8 hours a day to steam clean each and every layer of our being, right? So what we can do is we can form rituals and practices that serve as daily maintenance, just as you dust your home, right? You don't do a deep cleaning all the time, but you may wipe off the counters, you Swiffer the floor, you spray maybe like some sacred waters or incense in the air. That daily maintenance helps us not only to stabilize, but to slowly but surely chip away at that which we're ready to release, so that when we do go in to deep ceremony or deep cleaning, it's that much easier to just let it go, let it go, let it go. So why else might we find it very important to come into energetic hygiene? Well, if we do not have spaciousness within our bodies and our being. We cannot make room for all of the parts of us to receive our love because we are made up of an infinite amount of parts, and all those parts are not in agreement. Right? You might have some parts that really want to start this project or do the thing. And then you have another part that says, excuse me, stop clearing around failure. Oh no, we're going to fail. Oh no, we can't move forward. Oh no, they're going to laugh at us. Oh no, I can't be vulnerable. And it's our job as the sacred stewards and sacred vessels to clear ourselves so we can say, hey, booze, I got you. I see that you are scared. And it has been scary before, but guess what? We're safe now. You want to come along with me? It's to make sure that your sovereign divinity is driving the bus. All the parts get to come along for the ride. They get to enter on the bus, but they don't get to be in the driver's seat. We consecrate our bodies as holy ground so that we can feel the truth of who we are. And when we feel the truth of who we are, we make better decisions. Our life unfolds with more ease. We create the space for latent abilities to awaken within us. We come into our remembrance. And we awaken the divine archetypes that are ready to bless our lives. I remember I was in a sacred circle about a year ago, and like we've been talking about, when we come into this resonance, into this high frequency with intention, we allow the light codes that are imbued within our body and our being, our crystalline DNA, to spontaneously open and begin to integrate. And one way in which this might arise is through remembered archetypes in our body and our being. And I was in Sacred Circle, and one of the sisters was just in tears. And she shared afterwards, she says, I remember the archetype of the basket weaver. I remember that I'm a cosmic weaver of consciousness. And I would suspect that some of you on here are also the archetype of the basket weaver and all the multidimensional things that that represents, because I was specifically told by Spirit to bring that example forth today. And we can use that as a metaphor for any of the other archetypes that you feel awakening within you. So when we're a clearer vessel, we're just more clear. We can make better decisions. Our creativity comes through. We begin to allow all of our systems to connect, our womb to connect to our heart to connect to our throats to connect to our third eye, so that we move through this world more powerful and more cohered in our consciousness. So with that, we're going to go into an activating song where I invite you to take a few deep grounding breaths, center yourself, float your eyes closed. It's just going to be about 2 minutes, but receive these frequencies as you remember who you are.
Story, art and song, let us gather together, for the time has come to weave a new vision for those yet to come, for we are the ancestors of our great granddaughters and sons. Bring your voice, your hands, your heart or your drum, whatever it is that you make your art from. For if we don't, we may well choke on all the words we never spoke, on all the songs and poems we never wrote, and the fires within we let turn to smoke. For a vision, a dream, channeled through a brush stroke, a song or a scene can be the spark that lights the dark we find ourselves in. Art is and always has been a way for spirit to be seen. So come, way showers, weavers of spirit in form, let us gather together around this fire once more, singing what wants to come through you, calling me, calling me. What wants to come through you, calling me, calling me. Remember why you came. What wants to come through you, calling me, calling me. Remember why you came. What wants to come through you, calling me, calling me. So come, weavers of story, art and song, let us gather together now, for the time has come to weave a new vision for those yet to come, for we are the ancestors of our great granddaughters and sons. So sing to come, even if your voice shakes down.
And taking a deep breath to seal it all in. Opening your eyes and coming back to the space. Yes, Sydney says in the chat, I can't help but dance. Amen. Allow it to move through you. Allow it to imbue you. So, what are some examples of practices to move energy? To move energy. Yes, dance. Dance is, oh, and there's so much to dance. Dance is sacred remembrance, awakening. It is calling down light, allowing it to imbue your body and your being. It is moving and shaking off energy so that which is highest and best for us may come in and may bless us. So yes, shaking EFT, yep, tapping my body and shaking, singing, amen. Qigong, you guys, I literally want to paste my notes in the chat. You guys just hit every single every single bullet. Ooh, ooh, we advanced, we advanced. Painting, yes, channeling that energy out into some physical form. That's kind of like journaling, gets your energy out onto paper. Sometimes if I'm frustrated or I'm overwhelmed, I just take a pen and I just write. I just keep writing until my brain can't write anymore. And what that does is I do it with the intention of this energy is now transferred to the paper. It is out of my body and my being. And now I can move on and let it go. Fake scream but whisper, and real screams, right? All of it. Playing instruments, sacred instruments, belly dancing, yes, 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 swimming, moving the body. So it's really important to move the body, not only to get energy moving and releasing from us, but because this is missed in a lot of spiritual circles. It's not just about getting the light, getting the light, getting the light. The light needs somewhere to go. The light needs to be welcomed into our muscles. The light needs to be welcomed into our being. If we're not working out, if you know this about working out, when your muscles grow, they rip apart and then they come back to get stronger. Rip apart, come back to get stronger. So when we're walking, running, weightlifting, it's helping our muscles actually say, oh, this light is here. Let me bring it in. Bringing that light that we're calling in into our bones, our blood, our musculature, okay? Because we can call it in and call it in and call it in. And if we're not taking care of our physical vessel, we can have these awesome epiphany moments. We can have these moments of bliss of, oh my gosh, I am one with everything. And when we go out and we start driving on the highway or we go about our day, sometimes we can be the quickest ones to close our hearts and flip someone the bird. Okay, so we want our mat, our altar space to be the practice, but we want to imbue it in our body so that we are able to stabilize ourselves in that high frequency vibration of compassion, love, and light in a very practical way while we're out and about in the world. Make sense? So, one of the things we're going to do, we are going to do this together just really quick. We're going to do some shaking and some Qigong pounding. Yes, yawning moves energy. I used to go to a network care practitioner. I don't know if you know this, but they had it on Goop and they like tap you to release energy. And my guy was like, I'm just going to try not to take offense that you just yawn the entire time you're on the table. But it was perfect. That's how I moved the energy. So laughing yoga, yes. Okay, so everyone stand up. You can stay in front of your camera if you want. You can stand off to the side. Let me push my chair out of the way. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of energy movement quickly here so you can get a taste. Everyone, we're going to bounce and shake. Just bounce and shake. Ah, releasing any energy vocally. Ah, maybe rolling your neck, maybe shaking your hands, moving your hips, just giving permission to your cells to let go. You might even want to say a little prayer at this time. We call upon the angels of grace and the Elohim to lift and heal outside our bodies any and all emotion that we do not need to feel directly in order to grow. That prayer comes from to us from Amora Kwan Yin, the author. You can look her up, lots of great books. Continuing to shake for 30 more seconds. Ah, ooh, ooh. And then we're going to begin to pound our body. And you can just do this intuitively. It is based on Qigong. So there are like specific ways you can start the practice, and we can trust our divine feminine wisdom to move the energy. So this both moves energy, and you can visualize energy anchoring and pounding the light deep into your body. So everywhere, your head, your neck, your face, your arms, your stomach, your back, your booty, your legs. Ooh, the bottoms of your feet, really grounding the bottoms of your feet. Okay, and then just placing your palms on your heart. Taking some deep breaths, coming back to center, coming back to your seats. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And just to note, you might hear light language come out every now and then. We're going to have a whole session on light language next week if you want to learn more. But this essentially God light blessings is the simplest way to put it. And of course, speaking of energetic hygiene, we always come into these spaces doing what? Saying, hey, higher self, I enter this space as a sovereign being of light. I only accept that which is for my highest and greatest good. All else is reflected and deflected. I move forward, sovereign and free, or something to that effect. And I'm going to give you a PDF today that you can keep with you for daily clearing and prayers going into ceremony and prayers coming out of ceremony. So with that, let's actually get into that. Let me open that up. And I'd love to just see in the chat, how are you feeling right now? How was that for you? What's shifted? So good, so good. Buzzy, refreshed, activated, energized, centering. Yes. Open, great. And someone asked, can we have that prayer? Sure, you need to watch the recording because I don't know what I said. But I am going to go over a prayer with you right now that you can have and look at and read. It's going to go out in the email, so you'll have the PDF, but I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through it together. Amazing, beautiful light language. Yes, coming through you naturally. Yeah, what I find is many people that are attracted to my work and people where I'm attracted to their work, all we're doing is activating each other. So if you've had an inkling of light language come through, yeah, you're probably a light language carrier. If you're like, I have no idea what that is, but like I'm kind of curious, you're probably a light language carrier. All of these things, the psychic abilities, they're available to all of us. The channeling, they're available to all of us. Just like all of us can play baseball. Now, watching me play baseball would be horrific because I don't practice playing baseball. I don't even know the rules of the game. So that's the same thing for you. If you're like, well, I don't have intuition, I don't have this. Yes, you do, but how much have you practiced? How much have you devoted yourself to clearing your vessel? How much have you studied and been in your self mastery to clear yourself to be able to steward that sacred ability with wisdom, authority, and grace from a space of unconditional love where all your parts, your subconscious parts, aren't coming in and corrupting the wisdom that's coming through, the light that wants to come through. So we all have the abilities that we're seeing from me, from others, the guest healers. We all have it. It's a matter of putting your stake in the ground and saying, I'm here, guide me. I'm here to study. I'm going to keep my vessel clean. So I'm going to share my screen now. So you're going to get this PDF. Let me make it a bit bigger. All right, can you all see that okay? Can I get some thumbs up? Okay. And C, did you have a quick question? I saw a hand raised. Okay, maybe it's just clicked on accident. So let's talk about a daily cleansing ritual. We already talked about why would we do this. We do this just like you clean and dust your house. You need to clean and dust all level layers of your being. So we're going to read through this together. This is just an example. There's an infinite number of ways to come into sacred care of your vessel. And what I'm doing with this PDF is just giving you some kind of starting line where you can become comfortable with your prayers. Now, prayer is a sacred art. That in and of itself is a whole other class. However, what I will say is important is that you speak from the heart, you ground yourself, and you navigate it with sincerity, okay? There's no magic key of I have to say it this way or that way and It's no, you're communing with your guides. Just take a couple deep breaths. Allow yourself to actually feel the words that you are saying and adjust them as needed so that they feel true and authentic to you. So, this daily prayer you could do every morning. It goes like this. Today I choose to walk within the beauty way, free of any locks, blocks, chains, or energies that would seek to dim the light that I am. I call upon the violet flame, which we're going to talk about in a moment, to cleanse and purify every level layer of my being now. I hereby command all entities, energies, thought forms, and emotions that do not belong to me to step outside my field and return to source. I release all energy with love, respect, and clarity that it is no longer permitted in my auric field and is never to return. I step forward light, bright, and sovereign. I am clean. I am pure. I am clear. I am here. And so it is. So there's a couple key things here. First, you saw how my voice changed a little bit because I'm coming into my divine authority, my queen of my queendom energy to say, hey, this is what's up. This is how I choose to live my life. We'll get to the violet flame in a moment. We highlight, releasing energy with love. Whatever energy has come our way, we have in some way, shape, or form agreed to it, whether that's on human level, soul level, some unconscious part of us made an agreement. And we learn from everything. Everything's a learning opportunity. Everything is a learning opportunity. So we release everything with love. We thank it for the wisdom, for we're now more powerful because of that experience. We're divine light beings. No experience can truly, truly knock us down. It can sure as hell feel like it. But truly, at the end of the day, we are all powerful. It's just a matter of tapping into that internal flame within us that is our God source, our God light, our goddess light, whatever you want to call it. And then we end any prayers with "and so it is" as just kind of a final seal and bow to our proclamation, our declaration, our prayer. All right, let's talk about pre and post ceremony. So, have you ever gone to a party and you're just like, you come home and you're like, "Ugh, oh, I'm so defeated. That was so draining." Or you come home from a party and you're like, "Oh, that was amazing. I feel so alive." And it's because we're interacting with different energies, and some energies are better for us than others, depending on what season of life we're in and our energetic makeup and what we're here to do and what we're interested in. And so it's important, the same thing with ceremony. It's like going to a party. Let's make sure that we're dusting off anyone else's energy. So just like we did at the beginning of this call, I have a pre-ceremony script written here that you can read each time before you enter the Zoom room with us on this 10-day journey. And yes, these are more of temple transmissions and practices and teachings. There is some ceremony, but we will be doing full ceremony where the entire hour is ceremony. So you'll want to have this handy, and we'll do it together anyways on that. I enter this ceremony as a sovereign being of light. Nothing that does not belong to me may enter my field. I accept only that which is for my highest good and of unconditional love as directed by my higher self. Right? We got in communion with the higher self yesterday. Our higher self has our best interest in mind. It's omniscient. It is our God connection. So it is all knowing. It has our best interest at heart. It loves us unconditionally, no matter what we've done, what we've said, what we do. And so it's always a safe and sacred bet to call upon your higher self when you don't know what else to call upon. In fact, always call upon your higher self regardless, even if you are calling in other energies. And post ceremony, I now release any and all energies that do not belong to me back from whence they came. I call all of my energy and power home to my heart. I am cleansed of all that which is not mine, and that which is returns to me fully healed and fully whole. I am a sovereign being of light, and I am free. And so it is. Because when we come into ceremony, when we go out to parties, we can be in quote unquote collective muck. Okay. There's an energetic soup out there in the world. Everything's energy. Everything is energy. The chair you're sitting upon right now is energy. It's mostly space. It just appears hardened. So we're constantly interacting with energy. We are energy. It's really important to, as Alejandro says, full ownership in the chat, take full ownership. We cannot be in our sovereignty and our power if we're not taking ownership for what we're allowing to influence our fields. Full ownership. I can feel who I am. Amazing. I feel more relaxed. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me just do a quick time check here. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just mention of the spiritual technologies that help to A, cleanse us, and or B, protect us as we enter into spaces. So we just went over one, which is declaration and prayer. We're not going to deep dive into each of these, but I want to briefly mention them. I'm sure some of you are familiar with some of them. And if anything feels resonant, you can do your own research and trust your guides and ask your higher self to lead you to more information and data on that subject. So the violet flame. The violet flame is a sacred technology. One of the ascended master stewards of the violet flame is Saint Germain. So if you call upon the violet flame and you want to invoke Saint Germain as well, and always we're talking energetic hygiene. If you're calling on anyone, I invoke the violet flame and Saint Germain who love me unconditionally. Always add who love me unconditionally. This ensures the energies that you're connecting with are clean and pristine. So I invoke the holy violet flame and the keeper of the violet flame, Saint Germain, who love me unconditionally, to bring this flame through my body, cleansing, clearing every level layer, just removing old thought forms, limiting beliefs, emotions that I don't need to feel directly in order to grow. Please cleanse me, release any stuck energy in my nervous system, send it back to source. I no longer choose to carry it forward with me, etc., right? So that's another prayer. There's also a lot of meditations with the violet flame, very powerful technology, not only used for clearing, but also empowerment, but that's a whole other thing. So one of the violet flame meditations that I love is by Steve Noble. You can find him on Insight Timer. And another one is by Oren and Dobbin. They have a really great violet flame meditation. I'll try to remember to put them in the email. Let me write that down. Okay, what's next? The armor of God. Now, when I was first awakening, the term God, I was like, oh no, just goddess or source or universe. And so just know if the word God is triggering to you, it has a lot of projections on it. There's different frequencies at which you can plug into the word God. So if God doesn't work for you, goddess, source, universe, whatever feels resonant. For me, I switch between universe, goddess, God, source, and whichever one comes out, comes out. So the armor of God is a classic kind of spiritual technology that was given to us by religion. I use it outside of religion, and I have my relationship with God is outside of those parameters, and whatever's best for you and how you use it is great. But I put this on anytime I'm going to leave my home. I'm like, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm not trying to pick up the angry cashier's anger, okay? Because I'm a clear vessel. I'm a light. So guess what? Lower energy, whoop, it's like moths to a flame. So as you become as a clearer vessel, it is imperative that you are practicing energetic hygiene. So the armor of God, you can look that up on your own time. It's just a very quick prayer. In fact, I'll just say it really quickly. And some of the words I switch out and I added some stuff, so it's not exactly it. But I place upon my feet the shoes of peace. I now put on I have to use the words I always use, so let me hang on. All right, let me put on I put on the shoes of peace, the armor of truth and conviction. That's the part that's a little different from the way it usually is. The breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the sword of spirit, and the helmet of salvation. Or sometimes I say the helmet of awakening. And as you do that, you want to feel those energetic things being placed on your body for protection. Another thing you can do is just envision a golden ball of light surrounding you and say this 3 times. I am protected by the invincible light of God. I am protected within the invincible light of God. I am protected within the invincible light of God. Okay, and this next one we actually are going to do together. I recommend that this is one that you use whenever we go into major ceremony together. I put this around myself whenever I'm leading sacred space like this. This is the diamond white light pyramid of protection. So we're going to go through a bit of a meditative experience where I'll walk you through, but essentially we're going to begin with a pyramid that begins above our head. It's going to start to spin. We're going to expand it so that it envelops our entire body, below us, to the side of us, front, back, and above. And this is a spiritual shield where nothing can come to us that is not of our highest good. And not only that, but it kind of supercharges and allows in that divine light that is of unconditional love. So, going into the white pyramid, let's go ahead and float our eyes closed, taking a couple deep breaths in and out the mouth, then coming into breathing in and out the nose. And allowing yourself to feel the seat below you. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor, or if you're sitting on the floor, just feel roots kind of going into the ground. And then bring to mind just above your crown, the top of your head, a white pyramid of light. And as you watch it, as you connect with it, allow it to begin to spin. And as it spins, it begins to gain more and more speed until it's spinning so fast that it becomes indiscernible. It almost just turns into a white ball of light. And this white ball of light begins to grow and expand. It's growing and expanding as it simultaneously begins to drop down to your heart space. And it continues to expand and expand and expand all around you until you are in the center, entirely enveloped by this white pyramid of light. Allow it to kind of click into place. Feel the atoms in the air restructure. As this diamond white light, you may see golden flecks within it, solidify around you in your pyramid. And then just say a little prayer of this pyramid keeps me safe and whole. I now declare that I am a sovereign being of light, and nothing that is not of the highest light and unconditional love may enter. Only that which is approved by my higher self to be in my highest good may connect with me. And so it is, and it is done. So you may take a deep breath, open your eyes, and come back to the space. And thank you, ladies. Let's go ahead and get a couple shares. So that really is everything for today. I gave you a lot of information, and it's not to come here and be like, it's okay, what kind of resonated today? Let me pick one thing and let me try that on, kind of like you try on a shirt. Let me try that on for a couple days. All right, maybe I try a violet flame meditation. Oh, that didn't really resonate. Okay, next time I go to the grocery store, maybe I'm going to wrap myself in a golden bubble of light. All right. So don't put the pressure on yourself to have to learn and try everything. Ask yourself, what resonated today? What do I want to try on? What feels yummy? What feels delicious? What feels resonant? And with that, before I go into our announcements tomorrow, I love to weave 4, 5, or 6 voices into the space. Again, checking in with yourself about what's the appropriate amount to share, where's your growth edge, and what's appropriate for the space. Sharing anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds, and know that if I have to kind of Oscar music you off the stage, I do that with love. It's my job as a sacred space holder to make sure that we get to have as many voices in the space as possible. So You can raise your hand by going to the reactions button at the screen below. You click that and then click raise hand. So we'll get 4, 5, or 6 shares. Go ahead and line up, raise your hand. And remember that if you're working on courage, if you're working on visibility, if you're working on vulnerability, if you're working on authenticity, if you're working on boldness, may I go on? This is the practice to be seen and witnessed by your sister. So if you have that nervous little in your stomach, that is your sign to raise your hand, especially if you did not raise your hand yesterday. Click that button, sister. Okay, Amy, please kick us off. What was meaningful for you today? What are you taking away? And you are muted.
I feel lifted. I feel the light. And I just thank you.
Mm. Thank you, sister. And we see you. Christina.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I am here now. Today, energetic hygiene, especially very important, especially with the sacred spaces. So thank you for speaking into it. And there are so many things that are unraveling and remembering. So I just loved this session here today. And yeah, lead language, it's what's been coming through for a while now, but it's always new realms and new layers. So, and after yesterday, there was a big shift. And when I woke up in the morning, so yeah, thank you.
Chills. Do you want to share in like 30 seconds in a nutshell what has shifted for you? Or does it feel like you're still integrating and you'd like to keep it private? That's okay too.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. And well, it's when you're channeling your higher self about the question around who you are and you're being witnessed in it in this kind of bigger sacred space, while it's been obvious for quite some time, this is kind of a new outing again. So so yeah, that was kind of the new layer of the truth being revealed, and this is me sharing that unapologetic piece of being who I am.
Amen, sister. Thank you, and we see you. And yes, if you saw the daily overview email today, in those I put the replay links and also some of the PDFs, the music, etc. But one of the things I put in there is I recommend if you have your higher self letter, you place that on your altar that you created that represents your 3 values for your journey with us together. And I also recommend that you read it each night before you go to sleep. All right, Diana.
Thank you so much for holding space. I know this is only day 2, but I can already feel the transformation. And I love the movement medicine today, your ritual cleanse. Oh, that's off the charts. So good. I like wrote it down and I took a picture and I can't wait for you to send us copies. And yeah, I'm just really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana. I receive.
Mm.
And we see you, sister. We see you rising in this space. And there's one thing that came to mind when she was speaking that I want to speak. I guess not. I let it go. Okay. Oh, by the way, my shower curtain fell again. So I'm just having to let go and let go and let go. What the F is up? I'll keep you guys posted if it happens again. All right, Sydney. And after Sydney, I welcome 2 people who have not yet spoken on the journey. I feel that there's 2 of you in here. Raise that hand, baby, because the other thing is I'm a leadership coach. I'm really, I used to work with executive and corporate teams around bringing vulnerability and authenticity in the workplace. I can have a Zoom standoff for 10 minutes of silence, okay? I'm not going anywhere. So just letting you know, All right, Sydney, let's hear from you, sister.
Yeah, I was also feeling that. I was like, I don't want to raise my hand because I want someone else to go. But I did it anyway. Working on like the holding taking up space thing. But first of all, thank you so much for everything. I echo what everyone said, and like this has been so transformative, and it's only day 2. But I so appreciate like more around cleansing, because I feel like there's always more to do, and I feel like I'm always being called into deeper layers of cleansing my energy, because I'm very susceptible to the collective energy, and then I don't realize that it's not mine, and it's always a process. So um I'm excited to like implement even more of this that you've taught today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sister, and we see you. And yes, I'm just going to put this out here to kind of relax and just add some safety. If you are a regular raiser hander, yes, queen, keep raising that hand. And I will always make sure to make the invite after we kind of have our first kind of group that raises their hand to feel into, okay, who hasn't spoken yet? So you are here to be seen in your holy glory. You are here to take up space. You are here to be heard. So continue with that practice. Do not hold back. Thank you. All right, Francesca, we're going to end with you.
Hi, thank you so much, Danny. This has been so beautiful. I feel so uplifted. I feel so clear. My biggest takeaway, I loved honoring everybody that's here, and even on mute with the music. I think we live in a world where we are constantly comparing ourselves and feeling like we have to compete with one another. And when you were just saying, we're all in this together, and we're all so beautiful and special and unique, and we all have like these incredible gifts that we're meant to share, that no one else can share but us. So it was just like, I felt it. I was like, ooh, this is so powerful. Everyone here is like, it's such great energy. Thank you for bringing this together. And then the energetic clearing, I think sometimes I'll go into a situation and I'm like, oh, I feel so lit. I'm like, oh, wow, because I picked up a lot from other people. So just a reminder to just keep it clear and yeah, cleanse myself. And I love the pounding. I think I've grown up like not being able to or feeling safe to express anger. And for me, that's kind of like, I know it's a qigong, but I'm like, yeah, I'm woman, hear me roar. So, thank you.
Roar, woman, roar. Yes, queen. Thank you. Thank you for that. We thank you and we see you. Yes. So another thing that's going to help with all this cleansing, just as we're wrapping up here, make sure you're drinking lots of water. I'd even recommend putting a little bit of salt in your water. That's going to help the water actually permeate the cell walls and hydrate you more. Lemon's also great for that. Schedule in some salt baths if you can. If it's ever windy where you are or you live by the sea, sometimes I just like to be like, and have a wind shower and just imagine that the wind is blowing everything off of me. So, you are a creatrix creator. We do direct life with our intention. So this is not something where you need to stay in a box. Whatever you can do that makes you feel clean, pristine, uplifted, do it and just call on your higher self to guide you, to show you your inner guidance, and trust that you're building the musculature and you are divinely led. So with that, I am just going to put some links in the chat. Tomorrow, very important that you bring oil. We're going to be getting into some oil anointing tomorrow. Tomorrow's all about frequency. We're going to be doing a powerful little mini ceremony. The whole hour is not going to be, but it's going to be powerful. We're also going to go into, like I said, oil anointing. If you do not have an oil, that's okay. Get some olive oil from the kitchen. If you don't have any olive oil and you aren't going to the grocery store today, just get some water. It's all good. We just need a little bit. We're going to be anointing ourselves and learning more about that sacred practice to help uplift our frequency. You're also going to want a glass of water, not for tomorrow, actually, for today's afternoon session with Christia Ray. We are going to be going through water programming and auric strengthening. So it's another way to cleanse, purify, and strengthen your energetic shields that we're going to go through this afternoon. So that's at 2 p.m. Pacific. I will see you then, ladies. Much, much, much love. Mwah.